I remember everything, things I can't forget. Swimming pools of butterflies that slip back to the net. And I remember every night your ocean eyes of blue. How I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew. How I miss you in the morning light, like roses miss the dew.
I want to start by saying thank you very much for coming out this evening to support the family of Josh, especially my stepfather John. I see a lot of you that I recognize that are here for him this evening. I'm going to start off this evening by reading Josh's obituary. Joshua W. Varner, 36 of Wellsville, Ohio, passed away Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, at his home following a lengthy illness. Josh was born November 19th, 1985, in East Liverpool, Ohio. He was the son of John Varner and Susan of Wellsville and Valerie Walker Martin of Wintersville, Ohio. Josh attended East Liverpool High School and Jefferson County Vocational School. He was a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, and he served in Iraq. And I know I'm in the middle of this obituary, but I saw some very funny videos of Josh while he was serving over there, and that just warmed my heart because it was just great to see him laughing and whatnot. So I have to mention that. Anyone that knew Josh knew that he was a very hardcore Ohio State fan, hence the Ohio State urn that we have here this evening. And like John mentioned, Josh loved his Law and Order SVU. John said every day, it didn't matter, they'd have to turn that on, he'd have to watch it with him, so I definitely want to mention that. Josh will be missed so much by his family. He leaves behind his brother John Varner and his wife Shay from North Carolina, Scotty Martin and Kirsten Martin from Steubenville, stepfather Scott Martin. He leaves behind his grandfather John Walker and Carol of Steubenville, maternal grandmother Cher Kleiner, step-grandparents Robert and Lois Blair, many uncles, aunts, nieces, and nephews, and so many friends. Josh was preceded in death by his paternal grandparents Worthy and Jackie Varner, and by his step-grandfather Eddie Kleiner. While some of you may have known this day was coming, the pain in the hearts of those who love Josh is still such an overwhelming feeling. The reason why I chose to get up here this evening was to speak on behalf of my stepdad and the unconditional love he always showed his son. I have never seen a man so dedicated to caring for his son even into adulthood, like John has done for Josh all these years. Every single time his phone would ring, John answered. It didn't matter if it was 4 in the morning, in the middle of a wrestling match, or John had just left his apartment. He picked it up every single time. I asked John what his favorite time he ever got a phone call from Josh, because sometimes it was pretty random, I'm not gonna lie. But he talked about this time that Josh was in Hawaii and he was stationed there. And he called him at 5:30 in the morning. And as you can imagine, John was probably not awake just yet. He's an early riser, but you know. He woke up to answer and he was like, "What do you want, Josh?" He said, "Dad, I'm in trouble." And John was like, "What is it now, Josh? You are 5,000 miles away from me. What would you like me to do for you?" And he said, "Well, I just got pulled over." And he's like, "Okay." And he said, "I got a couple girls in the trunk right now." And John's like, "Well, what do you mean you have them in your trunk?" And he's like, "Well, the car was full, so they decided to get in the trunk." I assume that he was probably trying to take him back to base, maybe, I don't really know, but that sure was one to laugh about. Regardless of the many disagreements that they may have had, Josh knew that he could call his dad any time of the day or night. And boy, did he do just that. He would call his dad at least 4 times a day, at the very least. If he wanted a pizza, he was calling his dad. If he needed his beer or he wanted some cheesecake, I'm gonna call, he needed to call John. And Josh never came out and said it, but I know John was truly his hero and best friend, all wrapped into one. Hence the reason why they always had to watch Law and Order SVU. So for my stepfather John, I know there will forever be a void in your everyday life now that Josh's time here on earth is over. I want to end by reading a poem that I found to be very fitting for all of those of you whose hearts are hurting this evening. When I come to the end of the road and the sun has set for me, I want no rights in a gloom-filled room. Why cry for a soul set free? Miss me a little, but not for long, and not with your head bowed low. And remember the love that we once shared. Miss me, but let me go. For this is a journey we all must take, and each must go alone. It's all part of the master plan, a step on the road to home. When you are lonely and sick at heart, go to the friends we know. Laugh at all the things we used to do. Miss me, but let me go. Before we end this evening, I'm going to have John, his brother, step forward if he would like to say a few things, and then we will conclude.
I wasn't planning on saying anything. I don't think Josh knew my name until I was a teenager. Brother. That's what he called me. I swear he was probably 12 or 13 years old before he decided he was going to start using my actual name. He wasn't the only person he used to call all hours of the night. 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. For no reason. No reason most of the time. See the game? It's 2:30 in the morning. What are you talking about? We didn't always get along. Josh had a hard time. There's nothing he was more proud of than, being a Marine. That was the focal point of his life for a long time. And he always, I don't want to talk about that stuff. He always wanted to talk about it. What'd you do? Where are you at? I didn't. Kind of shit with it. I love Josh. He was kind of an asshole, but being honest, but I don't love him any less. The past few years have been hard, and on everybody, especially my dad. But he's gonna be missed, but he's I think he's in a better spot now, so that's all I got. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it.
Again, thank you for coming out this evening to support our family during this difficult time. After we conclude this evening, we are going to be at the Alps, which is in East Liverpool. We're going to have some food over there and just celebrate Josh's life. So you are all welcome to come and just be with us and just rejoice in, some memories that we have of Josh. So again, thank you very much for coming out this evening.